let's just say at the following days when Listener was now living with his two girlfriends now, it was somewhat okay and everything, minus the part that V tried to keep on chewing on him like a chew toy. So for now on, whenever she gets close, she had to get sprayed across the face afterwards. So anyways, Lister was somewhat okay. I mean, after all, he made friends with N, who was a pretty chilled out guy. Kind of feel bad for him because of how he was treated. And pretty much was like a brother to him, so they have each other's backs. Most times, the girls never really let him out of the ships, but for him, he basically is the only one that can go in and out when sunrise, so they didn't have much of a choice. And also for Listener, let's just say he had to be an obedient pet. And speaking of being a pet, he was being petted by Jay, who was sitting on the captain's chair. Do I really need to end up being like this? Lister said as Jay ended up petting his head. Why, yes. What kind of good owner of me would not treat her pet kindly? I am not a pet. I'm still a worker. You know what? Never mind. I don't want to get you pissed off. Yeah, that's right. Be a good pet. Lister pretty much had no choice but to listen. I mean, after all, it is against two basically murderers, so he doesn't have much of a chance. Unless, of course, he escapes, but some chance of that happening. It was just him and Jay because V and N went out hunting. He was still kind of weirded out that two girls fall in love with him. As he ended up looking at his reflection of the ship, he actually asked some questions to Jay. So, JC Jensen, how is it if you are from that company? Oh, it's great. Let's just say Jay went on this monologue of how the company would end up being nothing more than a salvation for her kind and everything. But with some questionable thinking, Listener asked, what will you do after when this thing is done? Pardon? She looked at Listener. I meant, what the hell were you thinking after when you kill all of us? What then? Easy, we're gonna be rewarded. And how are you gonna be rewarded when you're here and the ship is basically one missile launch? Wait, how do you know that? I actually end up looking through it when I saw how the missile is and everything. It's basically like a one-way trip. This ship is not gonna fly anytime soon, so I think you're stuck here. That's preposterous. No way but the company would think about that. I asked N, and he said that he wasn't controlling it. He saw that its location was only here, and that's pretty much it. Just the start on Earth, and then end here. Lister pretty much gave a good argument, and Jay looked questionable. No way, JC Jensen would not do something like that. I'm just saying, but if anything, I'll shut up. Listener said as he held his hand in surrender. Hey Jay, we're back! We managed to get some more worker drones for us. And we managed to get a good enough haul. N and V called. Listener followed Jay as she ended up coming outside and saw that they weren't kidding. Whoa, what the heck? Huh, that is quite a big haul. Since when did you guys know where to find good amount of worker drones? Oh, it was because of Listener. Wait, what? Huh? Wait, and I thought you said... I said that I know where it is, but in all retrospect, it was Listener's own idea. He actually had a map of everything, and he gave me the location, and that's how we managed to get this much good haul of worker drones. The two girls looked at Listener. Is this true? Yep, he said as he followed out a hollow form. Check this out. He ended up showing a map or a planet of Copper 9 and also dots where there survivor worker drones. I've been across the planet for quite a while and you'll be surprised of where you find some worker drones here and there. I marked down the ones that are good with green and the red ones you guys can hunt. Whoa, dang, wow. You're very intelligent. I'm gonna give you that. Thanks. Anywho, these ones, the red ones, you can go ahead and kill. However, the green ones are out of the zones. You cannot go there. And why is that? The red ones represents of the worker drones that pretty much backstabs us, or that are a bunch of scavengers that pretty much will rip us apart. The green ones are peaceful, so you guys can tag the red ones, but the green ones, just please stay away from those. The two end up looking at listeners shocked and surprised. This is quite an amazing thing to give us, but why did you? Because if I'm gonna stay here, I might as well be a good pet. Aw, looks like someone deserves that. Don't even hug me. The last time you hugged me, I actually got smothered in the face, so don't even. I'm still gonna hug you. V pretty much hugged listener as listener's face was pressed against her breast. Well, Anne had to look away. Okay, this is really weird. So this is how you reward listener? And said, still not looking. Why, yes, since afterwards he did an amazing job, he gets double reward. And then Jay hugged him, making his face press against V's breast again, but a little bit harder. Oh jeez, I'm so sorry, listener, but I'm going to go in. This is too much. In parentheses, don't leave me in. And just like that, listener pretty much now has to be in a situation like this again after getting these two or the three now more chances to find more prey.